think we learned how we can accept other people's creativity and put it together, and when we did that, it built strong relationships with our friends, and it was a fun way to learn about cities, because we learned so much about cities, and then it's learning and fun put together, which I think is the best way to do it.
I think that definitely when the city that we learned about each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we just like combined them all together, and this is basically what we got out of it. And so it was really awesome just getting to know my classmates and just what they can do, and then even myself, I learned stuff that I could do.
Great. And that's a great job.
I have a question here. This is a great model. I'm just wondering about your city transportation system. If you can just talk about a little bit and how different means of transportation for people living in that city.
Well, we do have our elevated walkways here from our residential to our commercial area. So we came up with that idea because we wanted to conserve the traffic area and the traffic. So we came up with an easier way for them to get to work and then back to their house. So there'll be less traffic in the streets.
Okay. Great job. Nice looking model. I was wondering what provisions have you put into your model to accommodate handicapped people? Any thoughts on that?
Well, one thought that we have is that we would make the sidewalks wider so we can have more room to walk on the sidewalk, and also just make it not like scrunched, but make it closer together so it wouldn't be too far of a walk for them, and just like kind of putting all of the things that they might need in one area so that they wouldn't have to travel all over the city.
Okay. Thank you.
Presentation. Can you explain the advantages of building up vertically rather than out in your model?
I think it's a good thing that we built up because it's closer to the sky for when we have the water. When we have the aqua collector, it's easier to get up to the sky, and with the water absorbers, I believe that they collect more moisture when they're higher to the sky.
And also it conserves space, because if you were to tip this sideways, it'd take up like 2 blocks, but if you put it up tall, it would just take up 1. And so it conserves space in our city, so we can have more different types of commercial and residential industry.
Really like that way that building has all the corners to collect water.
Awesome model again. I was gonna ask about provisions for low-income families in the city. Are there any areas that or government subsidies or some way that a low-income family could prosper here?
Well, I like to say that the museum is just a fun recreational area for anybody to come enjoy, really, especially for the museum. So there's not, you just go in there and just have a good time with your family, and there's art exhibits in there and things that you can do. So,
I think you guys did a great job of coming up with innovative ways to recycle, reuse, or harvest or collect water, which is such a big